Ever wondered what makes a truly great apology? The kind that actually makes things better? Well, today we're going to break down a really short message from a creator to their community. And believe it or not, it's a perfect blueprint for handling one of the toughest spots to be online, when you suddenly go silent. Let's dig in and see how it works. I want you to think about this for a second. You have that one channel, right? The one you check every day for a new video. And then nothing. They just stop posting. It's kind of weird, maybe a little concerning. It creates this void. And that's a huge challenge, not just for the creator, but for the community they've worked so hard to build.
And that right there, that's what we can call the silence problem. See, in the world of online content, consistency is pretty much the heartbeat of your channel. When you break that rhythm, you disrupt the whole relationship you have with your audience. And it doesn't matter if you have 10 followers or 10 million, people notice.
Now, the silence we're talking about in this case study, it only lasted 3 days. Yep, just 3. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but in internet time, that can feel like an eternity. It's just long enough for your audience to realize you're gone, and that's the part that really matters.
So here's the key takeaway right up front. It's not really about how long the break was. It's about simply acknowledging it. When you communicate what's going on, you're basically telling your audience, hey, I see you, I know you're here, and I value your time. That one small gesture, that's the foundation of a real trusting relationship.
Okay, so how do you actually solve this silence problem? Well, we're going to look at a note that absolutely nails it. Seriously, this is a masterclass. Let's pull it apart, piece by piece, and see how it not only fixes the break in communication, but actually makes the bond with the audience even stronger.
At first glance, this just looks like a nice, simple message, right? But it's actually built on 3 incredibly powerful pillars of communication. Let's tackle the first one, which honestly might be the most important of all. And that first pillar is authenticity. This isn't some generic PR-approved statement. It feels real, it feels human, and in a world that's so full of perfectly curated online personalities, showing a little bit of genuine vulnerability, man, that can be incredibly powerful. Think about all the vague things the creator could have said. Technical difficulties, scheduling conflicts, but they didn't. They said this. This single line is the anchor for the entire message because it's simple, it's direct, and it's something every single one of us can relate to.
So why does this work so well? Because it's a direct and honest explanation. It's not an excuse, it's a reason. And that little humanizing detail avoids all those vague, corporate-sounding apologies we're so used to hearing. What it does instead is build empathy. Your audience no longer feels ignored. They feel like they've been led into a real human moment.
Okay, so being honest is huge, but it's not the whole story. An apology that just talks about the past can leave your audience wondering, so what now? To really rebuild that trust, you've got to give them a clear picture of the future.
And here it is. This is the pivot point. The message shifts from explaining what happens to defining what will happen. And notice how confident the language is. I promise and will be uploaded on time just like before. This isn't a maybe or a we'll see. It's a rock-solid commitment.
And that commitment, it's everything. It gives the audience clear reassurance that the content they love is coming back. It manages their expectations for the future. It reestablishes that familiar routine, and most importantly, it signals that everything is getting back to normal. Just like that, trust is restored.
All right, we've covered authenticity and reassurance. But this note has one more trick up its sleeve. It closes with what might be the most powerful community-building tool of all, gratitude. This is the part that turns a simple apology into a real moment of connection. Just listen to those words, your understanding, love, and support. And then this line, let's continue this journey together. The language is so inclusive, so warm. The creator isn't just talking at their audience anymore, they're talking with them. They're positioning them as partners on this journey. This is how you perfectly close the loop. You acknowledge their patience, which makes them feel seen and respected. It reinforces the idea that this isn't just a broadcast, it's a real community. And in doing that, it actually transforms passive viewers into active supporters. It just ends the whole thing on such a high note. So if we boil down everything we've just seen, it comes down to this really simple 4-step guide. 1. Acknowledge the absence. 2. Explain with vulnerability. 3. Reassure with the commitment. And 4. Express gratitude. This isn't just a script for an apology, it's a playbook for building and rebuilding trust in any community.
And that's really the big idea here. What makes this note so amazing isn't just the words on the page, it's the feeling behind them. The audience gets more than just an update, they feel seen, they feel respected, and they feel valued.
And that is worth so much.
Which kind of leaves us with one final thought to chew on. In this world where we're just flooded with endless content 24/7, maybe the secret to building a real, lasting community isn't the fanciest editing or a flawless upload schedule. Maybe it's just a simple, honest human connection. Definitely something to think about.